I'm conducting my second test flight on the Eachine Mini Mustang this morning. I didn't like the abruptness of the ailerons in manual mode, so on the control horns I moved the control rods from the center hole to the bottom hole on the control horn to soften up the ailerons a little bit, and I wasn't happy with the amount of rudder I had. I wanted more rudder, so I moved the control rod on the control horn for the rudder from the center hole to the inner hole to give me a little more throw on the rudder. So let's get this thing in the air. Set my timer. I was pretty happy with it after the first test flight. So yeah, so now when I initiate aileron, it's not nearly as abrupt as it was before. It kind of softened up the ailerons the way it did moving the control rod on the elevator, the way it softened up the elevator. So I'm a lot happier with the aileron movement now than I was before. It's smoother when you input aileron than it was before. Now the rolls are still very lethargic. I knew they were going to be. I don't know if they're more lethargic than they were before, but they're just really, the rolls are really lethargic, and there's not much I can do about that if I want to soften up those ailerons. And I do have more throw on the rudder now than I had before. Not as much as I would like, but it is an improvement from where it was before. Bring it back through here and I'll show you a roll now. Very, very slow roll, just like before. Yeah, so as you can see, you need some altitude doing rolls. They might even be a little bit slower now since I softened up the ailerons than they were before, but I'll live with that. And rudder, I get much, much better rudder control than I had before. I wish I had a little bit more, but it is definitely an improvement from where it was, that's for sure. I couldn't, going up like that, getting it close to vertical and then giving it full rudder, I could not get it to spin around at all before. So it is at least spinning it around now. So I like that. And I found that with this plane, when you try to do those rudder spins, you don't want it to slow down too much, or else it just won't kick it over. It doesn't have nearly as much rudder throw as the Volantech Sport Cub has. On the Sport Cub, you can slow it down quite a bit and kick the rudder over and it'll spin it around. On this plane, you just don't get that. But I'm happy with that. It was definitely an improvement from where the rudder was before, and it's definitely softer on the ailerons, which I like, although it probably did slow down the rolls a bit. So I always make sure that I have plenty of altitude when I'm performing a roll, and I'm giving it, when it's inverted, I'm giving it full down elevator to keep it from arcing so much. Ugh, that sounds terrible today. Fun little plane. Alright, there's my timer. Bring it back around here. Oh! Man, must have hit a rock. Ah, it's so rough out here. But anyway, that is definitely an improvement from where it was on the ailerons and on the rudder. There's nothing I can do about the rolls. Those are just going to be very lethargic. So even without this adjustment, you need to have quite a bit of altitude. And if you give it full down elevator when it's inverted, that will definitely help decrease that arc when you're doing the roll. So, hope you enjoyed that. Thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. And I will see you in the air.